got up. Yes, ma'am. Again, this was a different time. If I'd have argued with her, I would have gotten into big trouble. Not, I'm taking your phone away for a day kind of trouble. I'm talking, I've got a wooden spoon and I'm ready to whoop your butt so hard you won't sit for a week kind of trouble.
I
climbed up the stairs, walked into my room, and sighed as I jumped in bed. I remember thinking how unfair it was that everyone was going to get to watch the game without me. I could hear my parents and uncle popping open beer bottles and
does this sound familiar?
Gleefully as they waited for the game to start.
No.
There was no way I was going to sit back and let them have all the fun.
The situation is familiar.
I did what any kid would do in that situation. I crawled out of bed and opened my bedroom door quietly. They didn't hear me. I tiptoed down the hall and towards the stairs.
Tiptoe through the window.
From my angle, they couldn't see me, but I couldn't see the TV. There was no point in doing this if I couldn't see the game with my own eyes. I might as well have just turned on my radio.
I have not received an invitation from them.
No. I was determined to watch my favorite players moving and gliding across the screen. I steadied myself and pushed closer to the stairs, peeking up from between the top two rails. Bingo. I was able to see the top right quadrant of the screen. It was nowhere near perfect, but to see more, I'd have to sit on the stairs. And then, I risked getting caught. I saw my parents struggling with the tuner. They turned it left and right, wiggled the antenna, and fiddled with the tuner again. The game had already started by the time they finally got a signal. Strange thing was, I could tell that they were on that third channel, the one that never came through. It seemed fine this time, though. I watched, squinting as the players flew by. I couldn't quite see either of the team logos from where I sat. As far as I could tell, one of them looked like a ram and the other one was some sort of star. Their distant shapes didn't resemble any of the current NHL teams.
You mean football?
If they were, I would have recognized them in a heartbeat. I had a poster of all the logos on my wall. I was an avid hockey fan.
But you said a ram and a star. But that's the Rams and the Cowboys.
So I figured my parents might have been watching a local team or something. It didn't matter. I mean, hockey is hockey, right? Even if you're not watching your home team, it's still fun. And the announcer's voice came on, crackled and distorted. He narrated the game, helping to fill in the gaps for anything I wasn't able to see on my quadrant of the screen. For the first period, everything was pretty normal, but at the start of the second period, it
you let him kill you.
Weird. The announcer's voice became a little more rigid. He sounded stressed.
So I got to kill the giant,
missed something.
The chest.
I decided I'd risk going down one step. I mean, my parents and my uncle were enthralled at this point, eyes locked on the screen, and they wouldn't turn around anytime soon.
I haven't fought the chest.
I slowly inched closer to the step, staying low to the ground, when suddenly... "What are you doing, Richard?" whispered my brother. I jumped, but managed not to hit anything. I shushed him, shooting a glare in his direction.
No.
"You're not supposed to be here," I said, ignoring the fact that neither was I. "You have to understand, if I got caught, I'd be in trouble. If we got caught, which, let's face it, was very likely because little kids like Steve can't keep their stupid mouths shut for 2 seconds, then I'd be in twice as much trouble. Because somehow, my parents would blame my brother being up on me. So I told him to go back to bed.
I know what
thankfully,
I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it.
I still had my back turned, watching my brother walk away, when I heard my parents and uncle gasp. It wasn't the anticipatory gasp of a puck narrowly missing the goal. It was a gasp of disbelief. Maybe a fight had broken out? I hurried to my spot at the top of the stairs and stared down toward the living room. I could barely hear the announcer through intermittent static. I'd catch little words here and there, like another bite. Oh, God. And it's getting bigger. All I could see from my angle was an empty corner of the rink and the bleachers behind it.
That's the only thing that's changed.
The audience was fleeing and tripping on the cement stairs.
You ever shitted on yourself?
I could see people climbing over one another trying to escape.
Not out of fear, no.
I could hear their screams. Distant screams that just barely managed to penetrate the announcer's sound booth. Like a haunting whisper on the airwaves. Then something round tumbled across the ice. A head. My uncle shuffled to his feet. Shut it off.
At any point you want to do something.
Mom was murmuring God's prayer. Dad dropped his
Damn, you
beer.
cunt!
It spun in a semicircle on the floor. Foamy liquid spilling
I want
from
to kill
the
his
top.
chest. And
My
then
uncle
after
twisted
that,
the
we
tuner
can
in every
collect
direction, but
Borderlands.
the image remained. By now, the announcer was screaming.
Yep.
Even if I couldn't see the color,
He's so
I
aggressive.
knew. I knew when the liquid splattered across the screen that it was blood. And with a loud burst of static, the image faded. Sweating and breathing heavily, I rushed back to my bedroom. I could feel myself shaking as I tumbled underneath my blanket.
I don't
Trying to
know.
make sense of what I'd seen.
Because that sounds like him
I don't know what I was more afraid of.
just not doing his
What I'd
voice.
seen on the television, or my parents checking up on me and seeing.
Because that sounds like him now.
Did they seem disturbed by what was on the television?
No.
Yes, but what if it was just a stupid show?
Huh.
If they saw how
Can't
scared
skip
I
it.
got,
can't skip this
they'd never
boss
let me
fight,
watch
I have
TV.
to
I had to
at least
pretend
do
like
this
nothing
one
happened.
to get to the other
Pretend I
one.
was fast asleep. Make sure they never found out.
Like, there's no reason to do the trick for this either.
I don't know exactly what it was
It's
my
not
parents
easy.
saw that night. I was only able to catch a glimpse of it myself, but I know it shook them
The
to
other
their
ones
core.
weren't easier.
The next morning, they were acting really weird. Shifty. Tense. Like they were trying to hide something. You could tell they were really anxious.
Like,
Maybe they
only
thought it was
thing I
none of
can
my
do is
business.
run.
Maybe they
Run,
didn't want to scare
coward,
me.
run.
As much as I wanted to know, I didn't ask them what happened. I knew already, and if I asked, they'd know I
Produce
disobeyed
50
them.
coins. Okay, I can
So I kept quiet.
produce 50 coins in the chest fight. Alright,
The
let's see if I
TV
can
was
get that
gone by
trophy.
the time I came home.
There's a trophy per Titan. It
Honestly,
seems.
I'm not sure why I thought about this again
And
today.
that's some kind
I wasn't channel surfing in the middle of the night and came across a mysterious
of-
channel
I got
with
two
another
of
spooky
those,
hockey
like,
game. This is just something that's been in the back of my
by
head on and off for years
accident,
now.
I guess.
I thought I'd
I
share
didn't
it.
do them.
I was curious enough to do a bit of research online on
Just
the hockey
gaming them.
teams, but I couldn't find anything. I mean, this happened in the 60s, and they didn't keep great records back then. Has anyone here heard about or seen this game?
Fucking huge.
It must have made the news somewhere.
Which one?
If you have any information, I'd appreciate it.
Like one of the first bosses, the
Thanks.
rotating cube.
Mm.
Like basically in hard mode, he never stops moving.
I found these journal entries. I wrote them up and thought I'd leave them here.
Oh,
Do I have to kill him?
January 18th, 1949. Snowed last
You
night.
ain't doo-doo.
That's the second time
You're
this
a
week.
chest.
you need the shit.
The old A4 can't make it to town through this. Hell, the damn thing won't even start. I spent near a whole season's worth of corn to buy her, only for her to sit by idly while we freeze to death. Had I known this,
Because they were stupid.
I would have bought more firewood instead. Sure would do us a whole lot better than that rusty piece of junk. Snow so deep, not even the mailman's
I
making
can't
his
even
rounds.
get my arrow back. Like there's
I
no
can't remember the
power.
last time it was this bad. In some parts of the farm, you lose an
You
entire
are-
leg in this
You
stuff.
are self-aware, aren't you?
The air is thick with it.
There, Jesus, you're fucking.
My lungs scream every time I breathe in. Can't
You
spend
alright?
more
Now
than
you
10
stop
minutes
moving.
outside without losing
Now you ain't
feeling
gonna
in
ever
my
move
fingers
again.
and toes.
That's why your mama had sex with a giraffe.
There's so little to do
That's why
around
you
the
got a
farm.
long ass neck.
I've
with your
been
long
checking the
neck having
stock several
ass.
times a day to make sure the food's still good. It should last a week or so.
Anyway,
Hopefully long enough for the snow to melt over the A4's time.
You laughed at it.
So I can resupply in town.
do I want to
January
actually
19th,
Yeah, I do wanna
1949. Ma used to say, God doesn't give us an obstacle we can't get over.
Do I have to beat the Titan to get
what
this
she
trophy?
didn't mention is the amount of obstacles some have to climb over
Probably.
in order to achieve little success.
Because it just says
God made a
50
place for people to
coins.
suffer
It'd
incessantly.
be cool if you could look that up.
And Nebraska is that place.
No, I'm gonna
The past growing season has been mediocre at best.
doing this thing.
The previous years have been average as well. It never seems like it's enough.
I know it's what he
I
called.
always want more. More
I
crops
can't
means
move.
better
I
living.
can't move over the
I
damn
can buy more equipment.
the coins.
I can hire more farmhands. I can buy toys and clothes for my children, Sally and Tom. Most importantly,
So I think he spits out what
I can
5
buy
of
better
these.
whiskey
Like,
to keep me warm
5
on
every
nights like
time?
this. Not that cheap bottom shelf rubbish that burns unpleasantly all the way down. I must push such thoughts away. Greed is a one-way ticket to unhappiness and corruption. I must thank the Lord for what I have. A home, healthy livestock,
no, you don't have to beat him.
a loving wife, 2 beautiful
Just
children,
Get it on screen. I died anyway.
firewood,
Yeah, you don't have to beat him to get it.
food.
Just run around till the coins fall out.
Town's just over 10 miles away. I'm not ready to make that journey on foot. Not yet. We've still got enough food at the farm. At this point, I may have overestimated my resources. A trip to town may be needed sooner than I anticipated. But there was a chance I wouldn't make it back.
I'm not
January
good at the
20th,
toast,
1949.
Next month I'm getting a toast.
Any better.
If it was easy, everyone would do it. That's another thing Ma used to say.
How? How
During
is
these
this-
frigid days, her voice
Because
had
if
been
you
coming up in my
calculate
head
it,
more
it's
often,
hardly already-
like a
I
ghost.
can't imagine it's gonna get any better.
My family celebrates
Oh,
this
yo,
autumn,
Ludala, hola,
which gives us light, warmth, and food.
You have a stroke there?
I
I
got
watch
stuff
from
in
my
my eye.
armchair. Sally and Tom
Brad,
take refuge
I'm
under
in
a blanket,
pain.
sharing their body heat like a couple of prairie dogs during hibernation.
Not a prairie dog.
My wife sits
Oh my
next to me,
gosh.
reading
Ooh,
them the book.
my eyes are burning.
Sometimes she reads aloud,
I
filling
like
her
Jews,
children's heads with
but I
stories
prefer
of David
Chinese
and
people.
Jonah. Other times, she teaches them how to
Frick.
read from it,
You
so
liar.
their minds are ready
You're
Frick.
a liar.
to return to school in the spring.
Did it not kill you, but it killed you?
This afternoon, we sat in
No,
silence,
he
listening
broke
to the
rules.
crackle of the fire
Does he? Would
and
you?
the
You had
howling
to hit him
wind
twice.
outside the windows.
No, he just broke the rules.
I dozed off
It's
once
not
or
telling me
twice,
anything, Mark.
When I get
imagining
to
the
the
food
left
in the
side
cellar
of the screen, he's
being
supposed to
miraculously
move his left
replenished by some
Mhm.
divine act.
Are you
I
going
went
for
to
the
check
trophy?
on it like some obsessive madman.
I'm going for a trophy.
I went over it twice
What was
to
that?
make sure.
It's
Yeah,
beating Iron
someone's
Mode
been
on
eating
farm.
beyond their ration
Oh.
share. I questioned Sally and Tom to the point of tears, who swore in the Lord's name that they haven't been sneaking food. I accused my wife,
Okay, so
who also burst into tears at such horrendous
so he's just
accusations.
moving his other side's hand.
I almost broke out the
for
bell
an
of a
extra
lot of them,
turn.
but stormed out to
When
the
you get
cold
to the
with
other
eyes
He hit me
Fear
with a
cooled my
coin.
hot blood. Frustrated, I vowed to
He
keep a
hit me with
closer eye
a
on it.
coin.
Our lives depended on it. January 21st, 1949.
Apparently, this is a
I woke up
very,
this morning still feeling sour.
Like popular.
Whether it
game
was from
that's
last
popular.
night's argument or a hangover,
It's not surprising.
I did not know.
It comes with a goddamn.
I wasn't going
timer.
insane. Something was awry here. I decided to give the old A4 another try.
Bitch, you a fucking fuck.
It was
You
only
ain't
hope at this
fucking with that. You
Give me
quad
a chance to clear my
jumping
head.
twat knucker.
I did my best to try to crank the damn thing to life.
I think
There's
that's
no use.
offensive to him and his people.
The engine was frozen solid.
Not
The only
that
thing I
you
managed to
care.
do was expose my hands to the cold long enough.
I'm not quite sure
to
what
start
twat
to turn
jumping
blue.
quad jumping twat knocker
I
means,
cursed,
but
shouted at the heavens. for
it's
a
not.
sign
This
of
one is
hope.
like one of the easier ones for
In
real.
return,
Like,
God
he's not
sent a
hard
very
at
gust
all.
of wind in my face. I kicked the side of the A4 and stormed off, not really certain of my next task. I walked around the yard.
Like I don't know why I'm
Things
like
over
how
in my
like I'm
mind.
missing. Like I would
I had
prefer,
to do
like
something.
I would do this game differently if I
Waiting around
built
was
it.
no good.
Like I feel like it's
I went into the barn
It's
to check on the
overdone.
cows. They seemed alright. Much happier than me.
Like,
Her
I hate
oldest,
I hate
Betsy,
the amount of walking you have to
Lowed
do.
while I stroked her flake.
It's one of those
She
shit.
was getting old. A morbid thought entered my head, the voice of my mother.
My foot is asleep.
Old Betsy could save us.
Alright, so.
The old gal had 3 more seasons of milk left in her, if that.
So,
To see us through this bitter winter.
So the guy told me
I shook the
today,
thought
like,
away as quickly as it came.
like twice a week, I'm gonna, like, well, every 2 weeks.
Betsy was
For a
my
while,
first.
I'm gonna have to go to a,
She was a reminder of how much sweat and blood I put into this land.
I'm gonna have to go to my local
She's been through a
doctor
lot with me.
to get my
Still,
testosterone shots.
the idea kept pestering me like a mosquito.
Like, I don't like it. I don't.
House.
I don't want that. I don't want
When I left
that.
the barn, I turned toward the back
I
end
do
of the
not want
house.
that.
I suddenly
I don't.
heard a cry of surprise.
What the
I
fuck
mean,
is
I
shit?
wouldn't imagine you do.
There were footsteps in the snow. They came from the cornfield and led toward the
Martin.
back steps into the
Yeah.
house.
Why would they do this?
I couldn't tell what
Was that
made the
dumb?
tracks, beast
Like,
or man.
Honestly, I've been having a pretty fun
Whatever it
time
was,
until hard
it
mode.
dragged
Hard
its
mode
feet through the snow.
can eat a dick.
How long have they been there?
Got
The
him.
bosses are hard.
I rushed into the house and
as is. But to expect me to beat them on hard mode and have to restart, like if I was doing this legit, like if I was not reloading my save
Yeah.
and having to start all the way over every time for one of these bosses,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Oh.
Like, is your hitbox smaller? Like, should I start from the left?